When you're ready to silk screen your shirt, notice I have everything masked out. My screen is fitting nicely. When you use the stick, don't use the stick to kind of go through. When you start to do that with the ink, you're going to create ink underneath your stencil, and that's going to create those mistakes that you guys had yesterday. So I'm just using the stick to kind of scoop the ink in an area that the design is not, because I don't want that ink, I mean, you can get a little bit in there, but I don't want it to get started to saturate the stencil, because then you'll get some of that bleeding. Now I'm going to hold this in place, and sometimes you might have someone at your table help you. And I'm going to use my burnishing tool, which is actually a squeegee in silk screening terms, and make sure that I add enough pressure and making sure that I'm going through the design. Now again, this one is technically my test shirt because it's an old shirt, but I will wear it. And notice I didn't go over it 100 times because I don't want my stencil to get too wet. Lift it up straight so that I don't get any mess. And this is actually probably the most perfect print I've ever done. Perfect for my demo. So I'm going to move this. And because my stencil is sticking to my silkscreen, I can now go ahead and do a second print on the good one. I hope Mia likes this. This is for Mia. And I'm trying to center it as best as I can. And going again. So if you know your design, you might want to do multiples. A lot of times your friends will love your design and ask you to do more. So I would definitely save your stencil just in case, if you can. Some of them are really fragile and might fall apart. If that happens, then at least you got a good print. And again, I'm going to lift this straight up. And Mia will love it. Merry Christmas. Okay, so what I'm going to do is peel this very carefully. And I need to wash this as soon as possible so the ink doesn't clog, using the sponges in the sink. And this I'm going to place on another board, the same board that I put in here, like a different one. Place it ink side up, and the drying rack back there that says drying rack number 1 is where you're going to dry that. So I'm going to show you guys